We're on.
We're on. We're away.
We're away.
You can all hear us all good? All good?
Good evening and welcome. Thanks for joining us. Southern Cross television coverage. First qualifying final. We're a bit excited up in the commentary box. Wally Gallio, Tim Weatherall. Well, we'll start with you, mates. The few ins and outs from last week.
Yeah, well, Julian Lockwood, Brodie Farlow and Scanlon come in, and Patrick White come in for Nightcliff, where Todd Miles comes in for Buffaloes. But the interesting one that I thought was Cammy Stokes. I thought he was really good last week, and he's missing this week, Tim.
Yeah, no, he's been really good the last couple of weeks. I think leading into the finals there, their ability through the midfield and through him has been really important. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that forward line of the Buffaloes today with Sam Bono and Shillabeer, working together. And those small forwards in Collinson, Eldridge, Rose has been really exciting. I reckon that's going to be pretty dangerous up forward for them. 100
games for Nathan Brown today. It's exciting times for him, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Anyone playing 100 games in any competition is a great effort. And he's been a great player up here. And obviously Nightcliff, he's been through those hard times and hasn't quite got that taste of a premiership, so he'd be really keen to try and start this finals off really well for Nightcliff tonight.
Wally, you work with the man, still no Matty Campbell?
No, Matty's got a foot injury at the moment, but he feels he's more used to the team just coaching and trying to work his troops that way. He's suffered a foot injury halfway through the year, and he's just been trying to nurse it, and I think it's just got the better of him. And I mean, he's really turned Buffaloes around this year as a consistent unit, I feel.
He might stick himself in for the grand final, you reckon? He might just hold himself out and get him in there, then, mate, just sit in the forward pocket.
That's got Matty Campbell written all over it.
He keeps on telling me how he kicks goals of the year all the time, so...
Unbelievable scenes. We're not too far away here from the opening bounce at TIO Stadium. Everyone's really excited. It's finals time in Darwin. Everyone's a bit up and about, as we're not too far off. But Timmy, just before we get into the bounce, congratulations. You're the NT Thunder women's coach.
Yeah, no, pretty exciting. It's going to be a great role, and really excited. Just watching the women's footy today, just the excitement they have and the enthusiasm. And yeah, I can't wait to get involved in a few weeks' time.
Do we say Wally's your boss?
He probably is.
Yeah. Okay, so I can play you two guys off against each other, so that works out good. Lucky I'm in the middle.
We work as a team.
I hope you do. I hope you do, as we're just moments away from the opening bounce. Nightcliff versus Darwin Buffaloes, as we see big Todd Miles, a big in for the Darwin Buffaloes, ready to do battle in the middle against Scott McLeod. It's Nightcliff kicking to your right of screen, and we're underway in the qualifying final. As O'Neill just sits on top of the ball for now. Williamson gets the hands out. Here's Cammy Eilert. Had a good week last week, that's for sure. Gets the clearance inside 50. Savika does well, keeps his feet. Puts the ball long down the line. Timmy Aldridge in pursuit. Here's Jalen Clark, self-proclaimed Rolls Royce. Handball over the top. Cam Eilert with a rare thumble for Cam. Might work out well though. Here's Cossack with the long ball. Inside 50, it's going to work well, is it? Oh, a bit of a collision. No communication between the two Nightcliff players. Paddy White inside 50, and a nice spoil over the top, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, you don't mind that early in the game, those two guys going for the ball. Obviously, you want a bit of talk between them, but for someone to, if we see the replay here, both guys eyes for the ball. Cossack started well with a couple of nice touches, but yeah, both guys just eyes for the ball. It's as a coach, you'd be happy with that.
Ball thrown back in, deep inside Nightcliff's attacking 50. Cam Eilert in pursuit. Burrawunga does well, throws it on the left. Straight down the throat of McLeod as he gets the quick handball off to Philo. The unit from Bendigo, deep inside attacking 50 now. Spoil from the back. Front and centre work from Nightcliff, but O'Neill just gets pushed off the ball as he kicks. And that's chewed up by Buderick, who was sensational last week against Sam Bono. Not 15, umpire says play on. Buderick puts inside 50 again for Nightcliff, doing all the attacking, and we've picked out a free kick for holding the man by the looks of thing, and it's going the way of Harry Williams.
Yeah, just looking over you, Wally, sorry.
Harry Williams had a good game last week, playing as a small forward. He started this week again. He's a pretty good kick. He takes his time as he comes in.
I can feel the commentator's curse coming over this one, Walter, as the kick is underway. And it's hit the post. We'll put that behind down to you, Wal, as Nightcliff opens the score. One behind The Darwin Buffaloes yet to score.
Yeah, it's all been one-way traffic at the moment, with Nightcliff seem to be a little bit more settled and structured at the moment.
So the kick back in. Here's Stokes in pursuit. Just knocks that forward and we'll have a boundary throw in. On the commentator's side, just on the wing there.
Haven't really seen the ball go forward of 50 for the Buffaloes, so they're just trying to get the numbers around the ball here at the moment. So you see a few loose players off the back. It's just going to be always finals, always really tight as the ball gets thrown in here. Big men fly, try to get the ball. Philo plays the ball brilliantly, gets around one, kicks it forward into a dangerous area. Just pushes it too wide and goes over the boundary line in the forward line for Nightcliff. But Philo already had a few touches early, and it's going to be a really tough midfield with Scanlon, Philo and Islet in there. It's going to be a big job for the Buffs to try and stop that.
Nick O'Neill with a nice hip and shoulder to Philo. Let him know he's here and he's ready to roll. As the ball gets thrown back in deep inside 50 for Nightcliff. Tap going the way of Miles. Ball on the deck. Pat's out to Paddy White, but there's a free kick being picked out here. Looks like it's going the way of Stevenson, and 50 metres. So this will give Darwin a good look at it. Bring him into the middle of the ground. There's a bit of carry-on going on off the ball here. Umpire just chooses to ignore that one. So Stevenson looks to move the ball, but Cam Islet sits on that one. Bit of a falcon on top of the dial there for Cammy Islet. Pretty rare for him. Eldridge and Roses, the two raging bulls, going hard at it. Umpire circling, and we'll have another stoppage and a ball up.
So we've had 4 or 5 stoppages and a couple of boundary throws, and both teams are still trying to feel their way through it, and sort of just little basic mistakes happening early in the final.
So that one from Miles hits straight down to Islet. Ball pops out. Here's Paddy White. They missed him last week. Can have an impact on the game. Just kicks it off the deck. Finds Emery. He looks to move it quickly. Ball inside 50. Here's Anderson. He's been absolutely extraordinary this year, and he had a great game again last week. And that one's out of bounds on the full. And Darwin Buffaloes can reload here and have another crack.
Yeah, it's interesting what they did with Joey Anderson last week with Buffaloes. They started to struggle in the second quarter with the midfield and getting clearances, and Joey went in there and played the last 3 quarters and cleared that problem up that Buffaloes had.
So he's burrowing. He's had a couple of early touches. It's the kick out wide, just pops over the top, works out well here. He's Jackson Clark with a stinker of a kick, was looking for Shillabeer, kicked it to the wrong spot. Here's Riley. Barrawanga with the fly from the back, and the spoil pops out the back. Wilson with the snap. Nightcliff get the first one here. Move to 1-1-7. Beautiful work there from Wilson. Darwin Buffs yet to score. 5 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Yeah, Buffaloes seem a little bit hesitant, Tim, compared to what they did last week. Last week they were really hard in under at the ball, and they're sort of a bit standoffish.
Yeah, you see the kick there from Jackson Clark, just sort of coming through here. Just unfortunately, Shillabeer wasn't watching the ball and just sort of, it obviously led the other way. But yeah, they're sort of waiting for things to happen at the moment. No one really wants to take the scruff of the neck, and you see Barrawanga there has a jump at it, but unfortunately his man was left behind him and got the scraps and kicked the goal for Nightcliff, and they're off to a very good start. Yeah,
all the stats tell us that they're inside 50 more often. Darwin have had a lot of unforced and forced turnovers, and the clearances have been all Nightcliff.
Here's Miles with the tap, but it's just straight down the throat. Nightcliff with the clearance. Deep inside 50 yet again. Here's Jules Lockwood leading out hard. Pops out for Nightcliff. Kick inside 50. Big collision there. Umpire says play on. Here's Philo. Does well at ground level. Gets the kick away. Beautiful looking kick. It is too. And Patrick White takes a mark. 15 metres out on a slight angle.
Yeah, Patrick's been out with a broken hand, and he's finally come back in this week. They were going to thought about giving him a game last week to get him tuned in for finals, but they decided against it, and now he's plays that small forward role really well, and he's lining up from 15 metres out with second shot on goal for Nightcliff.
See the big hit there on Zach Dirksen. Anyway, Patrick White on the approach. Kick underway. This just looks like it's scun the post, so Nightcliff moved to 1-8. The Darwin Buffs yet to score. 7 minutes gone in the first quarter. As Moroney kicks to himself, clears the ball. They've worked this well. Here's Big O'Neill. Was the best on ground last week. He's played on, does the old 1-2, gets it back. Pretty quick for a big unit. I'm liking the looks of this. Kicks up to centre half forward. Players fly. Umpire says there's a free kick. Looks like it's going the way of...
Joey Anderson.
No.
Sorry, Joey Collinson.
No. I think it was Roses. Anyway, kick underway. Look at this. Goal. Golski. Shilabirski. They worked that well. Oh, too busy trying to work out who it was, Walter, and Shilabir's gone whack and kicked the opener for the Darwin Buffaloes. They moved to 1 goal straight. Nightcliff 1-2-8.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see what they would do with Big Shilabir tonight. Obviously with Sam Bono and Shilabir in the side, who you'd leave out down the square, but probably not a bad move to play the big fella up forward with the kick like that. So you see there, it's just around the ball, and you know the ball slowly come back as we were discussing who it was, and obviously a bit of a set play. Knew he wasn't going to make the distance here. He just sneaks around the back there, and you know he's bombed that from good 55 metres out. It's cleared the pack quite easily, and first entry, first goal for the Buffaloes, and really important that they got that goal.
Cracking kick from Shilabir. He's off to a blinder. As we're back in the middle, the 2 ruckmen fly. Good tap there from Miles, straight down the throat. Inside 50 now. Shilabir cop one high. Umpire says play on. He's still on the deck. Here's Aldridge, gets a handball over the top, and he's won a free kick for too high here. So Timmy Aldridge just weighing up his options. He had Shilabir out wide, ignores that. Puts the ball inside 50. Have a look at this man. I like that footwork. The banana. Don't tell me. Do not tell me. Unbelievable work. Jeez. It hasn't taken me long to get excited by that man. And he's off to an absolute flyer.
Not a bad start, Tim. 2 inside 50 and 2 goals.
Yeah, you'll be able to keep that stat really easily. But yeah, just Timmy Eldridge, he's been a really good consistent player for them as well throughout the year. And you know, he obviously earned the free kick here. Well, I'm not sure exactly what it was there, but just a bit high over the top there. But he went back there, just was waiting for those 2 targets in either Shilabir or Sambono, and you sort of just waited around, and it was almost actually a pretty good kick. He just sort of kicked it to space, and Sambono with that such lightning speed, just clean take, and just sort of worked his opponent around the wrong way, and no right foot. He just decided, I'm on the left foot there, proud of the Buffalo club, and great goal, 2 goals, and suddenly they're in front.
Look, getting the rig out too. Young Sam Bono, don't mind him. Have a look at him. He love his work as we're back in the middle. And so clearance still a bit scrappy here in the middle. The ball pops out. Nightcliff with the clearance. Umpire says play on. Could have been an arm shot. Done well here. Joel Cross. It's the kick long. Here's Phil Wills against his old club. Paddy White winds around. Have a look at this man. Kick underway. It's across the face. And a mark. Beautiful work. Then there, plays on. And slots it. So beautiful work there from Nightcliff. Get the quick response. And Kyle Emery getting his first of the evening.
Yeah, both forward lines are fairly opened at the moment. At one end, you got Shilabir playing high as a tall marking forward, and then Sambono one out, and then Kyle Emery was one out there, and Patrick White just kicked the ball to his advantage.
It's actually quite nice not to see a loose player. Obviously, I mean, most games of footy nowadays, you go, there's always that loose player or that drop-off sort of player, and yeah, it's really it's great to have some high scoring for once. And both teams, as you said, there's lots of space up forward. You know, Paddy White's probably gone for goal, I think, but his opponent managed to push him behind in Kyle Emery, and you know, just good awareness there to know to play on and get around to a better angle, and once again make sure they finished their work at the 2 posters, and yeah, suddenly Nightcliff back in front again. As we go back to the middle, Camiola, who's just was up forward for a little bit, has just had his first clearance there, pushing it forward. They're calling it back. I think he might have been taken down afterwards, so Cam White will take the ball in the centre of the ground. He'll go back. Buffaloes get some time to push some numbers back behind the ball. Cam White pushes forward, looking for Lockwood up forward. He's got a bit of a break on his opponent, sneaks over the back. Great turn of pace there, coming through for Nightcliff on the left foot. Bit of an area by Philip Wills, but great movement. Burrawunga moves out of defence. Buffaloes just trying to control it and run it out of defence. Great tackle. Play on, no holding the ball there. Ball's right in the middle there. Everyone's trying to jump onto the ball. And nearly stuck out there, but we'll have a throw in deep inside the Buffaloes forward line.
Phil Wills with that kick just looked a bit like the Benny Hill music needed to be played there. A bit of a stitch up. He stitched himself up there, did the big boy. As we're back underway deep inside Nightcliff's attack. Ball pops out. Here's Jackson Clark, clean below the knees, does well. And he's been pinged for a throw. So the ball will come back. Nightcliff can reload, reset, weigh up their options. Plays on, heads long towards Jules Lockwood. Good ball from the back. And that one's over the line for a boundary throw in.
Todd Miles is having the better of Scott McLeod in the ruck. He's had all of the hit-outs at advantage at this stage, but they just haven't been clean around the packs.
So ball thrown back in. Is Miles again with the tap to Stokes. He's kick smothered. There's plenty of hot pressure around this ball. Stevenson gets the kick out, works it well.
Not sure what he's done there. He's sort of slipped over himself there. Is Stokes. So that looks like Stokes.
It's Liam Philpott.
Liam Philpott. Name wasn't sort of stuck on the team list. Obviously he had a bit of a change of number. So he has the kick out, but great smother. Just didn't get back off the mark there. So Nightcliff get another chance at the ball, but he's gone back to feed the ball. Maybe a throw. No, just got away with it. I'm sure he won't do that again. He make sure he gets right back off the mark this time, young fella.
Yeah, they got Liam Philpott listed at number 18.
I was going to say, I haven't seen an 18 yet, but that number 1 definitely looks like Liam Philpott as the kick is underway. And that one's over the line, touched, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
They might have just forgot to put the 8 on the jumper, and we sort of got confused.
Legitimate stitch up, I'm sure it was. Yeah. As the ball is thrown back in. Miles again with the tap, although straight down the throat of Riley. Ball pops out in Nightcliff to advantage. Kick underway, likes it off the boot. Big celebration too. And Bricknell gets that one home. And Nightcliff moved to 3-2-20. Darwin Buffaloes 2 straight 12.
That brings up Nightcliff's 15 inside 50 at the 14-minute mark, so they're going quite well. And from that, they've kicked 3 goals, 2. And Buffaloes have had it inside 55 times, 6 times for the 2 goals, and 1 was kicked from outside 50. So it's pretty much all Nightcliff's way, you know. But if they can get organised round Toddy Miles's feet, I think they're going to have a bit more of the footy, because he is winning all the hit-outs.
So he just thought, stuff this, I'm going to do it myself. Gets the clearance. Have a look at this. Shillaby. I like this man in these situations. Kick underway. And I've jinxed him and snuck that up for him too. It's off to the right as Darwin Buffaloes get their first minor. They move to 2-1-13. Nightcliff 3-2-20. 15 minutes played in the first quarter as this one's turned over. And Steve Anderson will go back and have a shot. Well, you called this one well last week. Maybe he kicked that goal to ice the game for him and just did a bit of over-celebrating.
Yes, he did. He did it. The helicopter, the plane, you name it, he did it.
Did it all. Anderson kick underway. It's off to the right. Someone flies at the back.
Who do you think?
Oh, my man, Sambono. Of course it was. Have a look at him. Nathan Brown just needs to get back and give the man some space here. I know it's your 100th pal, but get out of his way. And Sambono is on the boundary.
They've got all umpires in there trying to keep it in control, because everybody knows what Adam's going to do here.
Plays on, kick underway is a good one. He gets his second, he gets Darwin Buffalo's third. And he's off to an absolute blinder. Nightcliff 3-2-20. Darwin Buffaloes 3-1-19.
And again, Todd Miles in the centre was just so strong. Grabbed the ball, kicked it forward. Shillaby got in it, went inside 50. And then a forced turnover from Nightcliff, and then Sambono marks on the line.
Yeah, he sort of just came from nowhere there, Sambono, with the mark from up here. We couldn't quite see him. He sort of just, it was one of those ones he jumped straight from behind, but you see there the turnover from Nightcliff kicking the ball out from full back, and the kick went in, and Sambono jumped right from behind and took a rip snort of the mark and kicked the goal.
So back underway in the middle. Could have been high. Umpire says play on. There's a flying legs going everywhere. Darwin Buffaloes with the clearance to centre half forward. It's working it well here. Kane Riley with the handball over the top. Might work out. Here's Phil Wills. Gets his kick away. Paddy White. It's been great all year. coming back from the hand injury. Puts it deep inside 50. Jules Lockwood just runs under it. Joe Anderson with a nice body spoil. Could have been in the back. Umpire says play on. Jules Lockwood for the big unit. He does well. And that ball is going out to the outer side, out to the wing. And we'll have another boundary throw in.
Yeah, good result there for the Buffaloes. They were under the pump there as the ball went into the forward line there. Once again, lots of space for Nightcliff up forward. They weren't able to gather it, but some good work there by the Buffs just to get the ball out of that danger zone and have a stoppage on the far side of the ground.
So the tap down, Cam Eilert, fancy feet work. Drop mark there. Ball on the deck. Here's Jules Lockwood with the hands. Kick underway from cross. And that one's over the line for a minor. So Nightcliff 3-3-21, Buffaloes 3-1-19. 18 minutes gone in the opening quarter.
Kevin Moroney kicks the ball in, almost got a little bit too much, but they've worked it well through Baronga out of the half-back line. Kicks it down the line, but getting led to the ball, Kane Riley. Came second in their best and fairest last week, I think, Kane Riley, so he'll be another really important player for the Thunder this year. I believe he's signed up, so... but he pushes across to Camiola, another Thunder boy. Back inside, finding a little bit of space there for big Scotty McLeod. He pushes back, looks for that leading forward. The left foot kicks the ball into a 2-on-1. Ryan Moore, you wouldn't think so at the back, but once again, the Darwin Buffaloes get their hands on the ball and it slides over the back for another behind.
Even though that Nightcliff have had a lot of the ball inside their 50, the back six for Buffaloes have worked quite well with Kevin Moroney, Joey Anderson, Chris Williams helping out as a midfielder. Young Barunga going really well at the moment.
So the ball pops out, but it's all Nightcliff with the numbers. Here's Paddy White. Just dances around a few, gets boot to ball, works out well. There's a mark inside 50 to Kyle Emery. But might be just beyond him here. Finds an option, and that one's cut off, and cut off well. It is by Kevin Moroney. He's just weighing up, having a look around, looking for the switch. Nothing's doing that way. Puts it long down the line in the Atkinson direction. Ball pops out the back. Beautiful hands there from Williams, although ball turns over. Bricknell inside 50, works well. That's the little fella Ryan Moo taking the mark. About 30 metres out, pretty much in front.
So that's the third mark that Nightcliff have taken inside 50. But this is the first mark they've taken inside 50 to have a shot on goal. And again, you know, the back six worked well for Buffs, but it's just falling across half-back. Todd Miles has gone off the ground for a rest, and the value that he has around the ground has already been shown because Scott McLeod started to sort of get around the ground a little bit more as a tall.
Ryan Moo just pushes that one to the left. So he gets another minor score for Nightcliff. 3-5-23, Darwin Buffaloes 3-1-19. 20 minutes gone in the first quarter. They get the quick clearing kick to Roses. He moves it long down the line in the Clark direction. He flies, might get a free kick. Yeah, wins one for an arm chop. So he's just looking what's up ahead. Nothing's doing, plays on. Puts it long to centre half forward on Shillaby's head. Pops over the back. Kane Riley does well. And just pops it over the top to the champ, Cammy Eilert. He finds something he likes. It's a handball over the top towards Wills. 3-on-1 here. Wills does well. Gets it back to Williams. Good pressure here from the Buffs, although it pops in Wills' direction. Nice kick inside, but a good spoil from Savika. Anderson sits on them. Savika sits on another. Umpire says play on. Wills just off to the right. In fact, it's out on the full and hits that behind post right on top, Walter.
And again, the inside 50 for Nightcliff comes another one, and Buffaloes are sort of trying to find space. They're trying to play into Nightcliff's hand by kicking it back down the line. They need to have a look laterally and try and get the ball out wider and trying to switch the ball around and try and make Nightcliff a bit more accountable on the turnover and the transition defensively.
So here we go, an old school, old-fashioned barrel. It's a good one too, gets him out of trouble for now. But again, it's James Back inside 50 for Nightcliff. Everyone flies. No one down at ground level though except the Buffs with the snap towards Anderson. Just out of his hands, Brody Philo with the snap back towards the top of the square. Might work well, it does. Ryan Moo gets another for Nightcliff. Beautiful front and centre work there from the little man as Nightcliff moved to 4-5-29, Buffs 3-1-19.
Perfect spot for a small forward, Tim.
Yeah, you love that, don't you? I reckon there's all good little rovers do. They love those goals when the ball comes to forward. But well done by Phil Wills here. Probably not naturally known to be jumping at the ball, but he had a real crack at it. Did the right thing as a little fella should. Brings it forward, and big Jules Lockwood not used to being in front there. Went straight over his head. But Ryan Moore so dangerous when he gets close to goals, and a great finish there for Nightcliff. And that's 9 scoring shots in 22 minutes of footy, so they're definitely dominating the game and just starting to get a bit of reward now.
Nightcliff 29, Buffs 19, 23 minutes gone in the first quarter as Miles taps to himself. Eilert being held onto there, too high, you name it. He's copped it. He's got the free kick. He's coming back to Mr. Eilert now. This looks what's ahead. Finds something he likes in Paris. He goes inside 50 once again for Nightcliff. Good spoil there from Anderson over the top. Wills again. He's been pretty good early here. Ball pops out. Maroney. And Stevenson will see that one over for a rush behind. So Kev Maroney with the kick-out duties. He's got nothing on. Kicks to himself. Nightcliff players asleep there. He's going straight to Cam Eilert as he takes that one. Puts him back inside 50 again. Look at that, too easy. Ryan Moo by himself. He plays on. Just puts it up in the air. Sort of a nothing kick, really. And has given away a free kick right in front of goal. Big call from the umpire.
Yeah, it was a little bit off the action there where Zach Dirksen was running in and he actually got hit as he was coming in to mark the ball, and you can just see it on off screen there, whether it was within 5 metres.
Meanwhile,
not.
Meanwhile, they've gone back and slotted the goal. So 5-6-36 to Nightcliff. Darwin Buffaloes 3-1. 19-24 minutes gone in the first quarter.
So the goal kickers for Nightcliff so far, Ryan Moo has 1, Bricknell, Zach Dirksen, Kyle Emery and Sean Wilson. 1
apiece for those of you playing at home.
And for Buffaloes, 2 to Sambono and 1 to Darren Schillebeer.
My boy, Sambono, he might just win this off his own boot. Shouldn't say that, I'll jinx him. Because I hope Matty Campbell doesn't watch this back. Anyway, back in the middle. Miles again with the tap, but it's Nightcliff at ground level. This might work. Big O'Neill gets a clearing kick to centre half forward. Just getting worked out there on the deck. Follow gets tackled. All jumped on. There's a Buffs player down off the ball. And he's not moving either. Like a big bump. He's just starting to come to it now. So we have a look here. Yeah, just cops one.
Jalen Clark.
Went down too. Isn't he the big boy?
Back up there now. He's had a chat to the trainers. He's ready to go. So the umpire will bowl the ball up.
Might have been a bit of a shock from the big boy. And there it is. It's quarter time at TIO Stadium. Nightcliff 5-6-36. Darwin Buffaloes 3-1-19. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this.
Isn't that the new neighbour?
Yep, pretty sure she's from down south.
She arrived last week. Just had her windscreen broken by a falling coconut.
No. I was at Jingly. Jingly!
If she was with TIO, she'd be talking to a local. Might even be from Jingly.
Am I covered for coconuts?
And it's good to know. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance offer the option of no excess for windscreen claims.
Jingly coconut curry.
Every day, we go beyond. Beyond running the power networks and beyond providing the water services that sustain life in the Territory. In fact, we're proud to sponsor and partner with the sporting organisations, charities, events, and community groups that are essential to every day in the Territory, because we are Power and Water.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
1,300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce. Coffee white with 1, bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Another life saved with the Chemist Warehouse app. Take control of your health and wellness. Download now.
Are you overrun with rubbish and need a skip bin? For easy disposal from your garden cleanup, renovation or spring clean? When you think skip bins, think NTRS. NTRS, your friendly, reliable and local waste disposal company.
From Todd Miles, but inside 50s, 22 to Nightcliff and only 12 to Buffaloes. But the unforced and forced turnovers is comparatively down from last week, where we probably had nearly 15, 16 in the first quarter, and this week we've only probably had 4 from each side, which is either forced or unforced. So it's an open game, and I think the scoring dictates that, Tim.
Yeah, no, definitely. Nightcliff obviously would have had 70% of the play and just sort of used the ball much better going forward. I thought earlier they probably kicked the ball to the pockets a little bit too much, didn't get into that danger zone, and that's probably why they kicked those points early. But later in the quarter they started to get to that, that hot spot, that sort of 20 metres out from goals, and Ryan Mill was over the Rover goal, and they got some easy goals where it's hard to kick goals in the pockets, and I thought that was really good that they started to centre the ball and get into that dangerous corridor.
As we're about to get back underway for the second quarter, it's Nightcliff 5-6-36, Darwin Buffaloes 3-1, 19. a bit. I don't know what they're...
I think they're waiting for some fella on the far side to decide to have a kick at the footy. There he is. He wanted to go and listen to the coaches, have a bit of a chat, and he's just taking his time to push to that far side. And
Come on, bruz. He's just holding everyone up here at TIO Stadium as the siren is blown, and we're back underway in the second quarter as Miles again dominant in the ruck with the tap. Good clearance there from Chris Williams. Inside 50 for the Buffs. They need a quick opener here. But it's all good. Chopped off by Jalen Clark. Kick underway. It's just off to the right. Would have been the start they wanted to the second quarter. But just through for a minor as they move to 3-2-20. Nightcliff 5-6-36. As the ball comes back outside. Miles good there. Just laid a bit of a trip on. Umpire says play on. Here's Roses. Goes backward to Eldridge. They've got the same hairdo. I get them mixed up. Ball pops over the line. And we'll have a boundary throw in deep inside attacking 50 for the Darwin Buffaloes.
So the Buffaloes have started with a bit more intensity and they've got the first clearance and they've got it parked inside their 50.
Jalen Clark's bounced back well from that hit late in that first quarter. There were a couple of little touches early and you see him in amongst it now. So throw in inside the forward line for the Buffaloes. Miles just tries to get the ball going forward, but too many people out the back. Cossack, great handle to space over to Philo. Saw the man, had that area on the far side of the ground, and they've got plenty of space in front of them now. Running out of defence, it's Farron. Kicks it to space, but it's all Buffaloes over there. Joey Anderson leads his opponent to the ball, as he's done all of the year. But unfortunately, I think it's Timmy Eldridge there. Might have just dropped what he should have taken on the far side there, and it'll be a throw-in almost in the middle of the ground as we look at the bench there for the Buffaloes.
Big Hayden Rickard there, just running the bench, looking really sharp. The big boy from Nhulunbuy Way in running the bench for Matty Campbell. As the ball's thrown back in. McLeod with the tap that time, but straight down the throat of Williams. He gets a kick up to centre wing. Might work out. Jalen Clark with the hands. Collinson back to Clark. And that one's over the line, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
Haven't seen much of Collinson today. Like, he was very dangerous a couple of weeks ago when we were playing here. So we spoke about those small forwards in Collinson and, you know, Roses, those sort of guys. Eldridge starting to get into the play, but, you know, he's probably one Collinson who needs to start getting around those big forwards and getting his hands on the ball a bit.
Miles with the tap. Straight to the advantage of Nightcliff. James dances round one. Does well. Gets boot to ball inside 50. Players fly. It's Nightcliff at the back. Baralunga racing back. And that one's through for a behind. So Nightcliff extend the lead to 5-7-37. Buffaloes 3-2-20. Just a couple of minutes played here in the second quarter. Good mark there from Stokes. The awkward lunge, but he swallowed it anyway. It's a nice kick to Anderson with the long mop hairstyle and the awkward ball drop, but it works. Jalen Clark with the sliding mark there. Nearly slid straight through that fence and the Nightcliff bench. Didn't, lucky for him. With the kick, O'Neill plays on. Looks to Shillaby just over his head. And we'll have another boundary throw in.
Yeah, I'd much rather see that ball go to the front of the square. You got that Sambono fella out the front there, and I reckon that kick probably needed to go, you know, 15, 20 metres out in front of him, and he could have done anything. But
yeah, it comes back to the observations about Nightcliff in the first part of the first quarter where they kicked to the pockets, Tim.
It's easy up here, but we have a throw in there, have another chance at Miles. Looks for Jalen Clark again, jumps at the ball. Chrissy Williams just lets him know there, make sure the ball goes over the line there. A little bit of feeling as they keep letting each other know. Scannon's in there.
It's finals time.
It's qualifying final time. Both teams are keen.
Everyone's revving each other up a touch. The ball's thrown back in. Bit of a shallow ball. Might work out well. Jalen Clark with a snap across the face. Sambono. Yes. Yes, it is. As he eats these ones for breakfast. This young man on the tough angle.
Tim hit it on the head. Just kick it up high to Adam Sambono when it's a one-on-one. You'd sort of back him in every time.
You should be a coach, I reckon, Tim. Yep. Anyway, here he goes, Bunana style. Sambono gets another one. He's on his way to a big game and a big bag, hopefully for that young man.
That's Sambono's third goal for the game, and Looks like Shillaby has dropped a little bit deeper, and he's going to join Adam in the goal square. And as you're talking about, Joey Collinson, Jalen Clark, all those small forwards, Malcolm Roses, are all setting themselves around at the feet of the tall forwards, Tim.
Yeah, well, they are dominating the ruck, as you've said a number of times. And, you know, the forward line, they've got those little fellas to get their hands on the ball. And, yeah, it's still amazing to see the way he kicked their goal. Still managed to play on and still had to do the banana. Wasn't the drop punters we'd normally see. Still managed to.
And it's just interesting that Cammy Eilett's dropped himself to half back now.
Yeah, you need to drag that man deep too. Don't bring him up to the play. So I shouldn't talk like I'm a coach. What would I know? Well, anyway.
True.
Clearing kick there from Nightcliff as they get the clearance. The Buffaloes at ground level as they just try and rush it over the line, and it's well worked there from Bradley Stokes.
Yeah, Bradley Stokes is an interesting one, Tim. He's sort of been a bit of an unsung hero, even though he's had a couple of discretions during the year. I think he's been quite consistent back there for Buffs.
No, he's, as you spoke about, their defensive six have been fantastic tonight in particular, but he leads the way. He's a sort of really strong young lad and just sort of gets to the right positions and controls that defensive line a lot. But
so here we go, back underway. Philo cops one high. Umpire says, yeah, that's high. Looked a bit soft, that one. Anyway, Philo from a good footy family in Bendigo way. Inside 50, Paddy White, don't let that man by himself, but he just pushes it to the right. And Nightcliff gets another minor score. So move to 5-8-38. Buffs 4-2-26. 6.5 minutes played in the second quarter.
Both teams just feeling themselves out as Kevin Moroney kicks it out to the grandstand side of the ground. Jared Stokes runs onto it. He comes down the line though. He goes around in a semicircle. Then he looks for Tim Eldridge, which he finds just across half-back for the Buffalo Football Club. He comes inside to Joey Anderson. Joey Anderson goes long and high down the line and parks Steve Anderson under it. He flies. Barrawonga comes through. Cammy Eilett takes him out of the ground. Roses taps it inside 50, and with his speed, he gathers it with one hand. He's on his left foot. He's just kicked the point out of that, but it was quite... and there's that space of that small forward that you like, Tim.
Oh, I love it. He just never quite had control of the ball to that last minute with that explosive pace he had. Just would have been beautiful to kick that goal, but unfortunately for the young fella, Malcolm Roses, just couldn't quite get it.
So ball kicked back in to Sean Wilson. Buffs just playing with a bit more intent in this second quarter. That one's long down the line. Miles flies from behind. That one's over the line, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
He's a genuine effort man, isn't he, Tim? Toddy Miles, he just works his butt off around the ground. He gets to the position of the ball, and he follow up his marks and his tap work. He's just been a real serviceable big man tonight.
Here he is, tap over the back. Barrawonga in pursuit. Ball pops out. O'Neill with the tackle. Umpire says play on. Crunching tackle from Barrawonga. And he's pinged him. No, it's Stokes, sorry. No. It's Philpott. Philpott plays on quickly. And a nice kick and an ear massage from behind from Riley. It was Shillaby, the big man, taking that mark, and he'll go back and have a set shot from about 45 out.
Been a really good battle between these two. Kane Riley has said a really, really good defender for Nightcliff this year, been fantastic. But yeah, see the tackle here as you go back. Yeah, perfect tackle, just pinned the arms and the ball popped out, and yeah, well deserved to get the free. But Shillaby, as we know, can kick the big bomb, and he's gone back again. He kicks his second goal for the Darwin Buffaloes. They've started this quarter brilliantly at the moment. Much more enthusiasm, and you see that all the players getting around them, and we've definitely got a game on our hands tonight.
Yeah, they seem to be a bit more organised, and you know, Shillaby is talking to his forwards now, and Toddy Miles is in there talking to his midfield, and their back half has been good. And I think they're finding a way that they didn't in the first quarter, Buffaloes, with bringing the ball out of defence. And Nightcliff have gone to sort of being a bit more accountable, and the space that they were finding, Buffaloes have found.
So Buffs have worked their way back into this one. Just stand by 5 points now. Miles a tap, Philpott with the clearing kick. Anderson wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire says holding the pill, pal. This one pops, advantage paid. Here's Phil Wills. Inside 50 for Nightcliff. Pops over the back. Paddy White. Umpire says play on. Gets the handball away. Ball back inside 50 now. It's a nice kick. Straight down the throat of Kyle Emery. Tough angle though. Looks to move it quickly. Finds something he likes. Jules Lockwood does well. Snap underway. Is out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, Jules Lockwood sort of having a bit of trouble getting his hands on the football. Simply that last couple of weeks through injury and also suspension.
Here's a young man, Burrawunga. Moves it quickly. Might get it back here. Now they go out wider to Moroney. He plays on. He's off to a good start too. Goes down the line in the Clark direction. Here's Aldridge. Just out of his hands. Well worked there from Paris. Just puts it up in the air. Miles stands under it and takes a good mark. He's having an absolute blinder, this big man. He goes long and deep inside 50 in the Shillabeer direction. Kane Riley with the good spoil. Pops out the back. Cossack with the clearing kick. Miles again just punches the ball forward. Philpott back inside 50. Clean hands. Ping folding the ball here, surely. And it was a beautiful tackle from Joey Collinson. Just really stitched up Cossack. Plays on quickly. And finds Timmy Aldridge. And he'll go back and have a set shot from about 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, I think Timmy's going to be right on his measure here with his kick. But that was what Tim, again, you were talking about with those small forwards. Joey Collinson tracking the ball down and just wrapped that Nightcliff player up and turned the football over where it seemed Nightcliff were out and going.
So Aldridge on the approach. He kicks this, they're back in front. And it's just off to the right. Some interesting noises coming down from the crowd. Someone's got some sort of apparatus that makes really annoying noises. Well done. That's where, just like that, at centre wing, he's moved with the mark. Pops it over the top. Just cut off beautifully there from Roses. He goes long. That's holding the man every day of the week. Umpire agrees. So Moroney just pops it over. Might work out. Here's, have a look at this man, Sam Bono, with the beautiful click to Clark. Plays on and nails it. So Buffs in front for the first time today. They move to 6-4-40. Nightcliff 5-8-38.
And again, just Malcolm Roses across half back. He tracked his player by 40 metres and just one touch, one grab, and then finished off with a nice kick, a free kick far side, and then Sam Bono, again with good skills, just gets it inside, and Jackson Clark finds himself over the back. Cammy Eilert tries to chase him down and open goal for Buff. So those small players that you talked about in the first quarter, Tim, have come to fruition. Yeah, I was going to say, same thing about Rose. Just you love that as a coach, the senior forwards push all the way back to half back. They don't let their defenders run off them and turn the ball over. And it was great to see him running hard the other way as well. But yeah, the Buffaloes, those forward lines, that forward line pressure is really helping as they go forward again. And there is that small forward, Joey Collinson, trying to work for the ball. Out in front of Kevin Moroney, normally down back, just tries to take a little bit off the ball there to give Shillabeer a chance, just doesn't quite hit the right side of the ball and it pushes over the boundary line. Not on the full, so they'll get a throw in 45 metres out at the Buffaloes' end. I like the way that Matty Campbell's coached too tonight, like he's all of a sudden not winning in the midfield, so he's thrown one of his key defenders into the midfield and he's got a clearance out, so that's great coaching.
So ball thrown back in, Shillabeer doing the right work this time. Nightcliff with the numbers though, although pops out to Moroney. He drops the ball, umpire says play on. Here's Phil Wills, gets absolutely annihilated in a tackle by the little hard man Roses, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Yeah, once again, the forward line pressure there, really keeping the ball into an area. Early in the game, the ball was coming out just probably a little bit too easily for them, but you know, they're really starting to battle there now, and we see Miles now jumping up in the ruck. Beautiful left hand into the attacking position for his team. He fights back again. Great hands, Moroney on the far side. Stakes the ball over in front of Williams.
but the ball pushes over the boundary line. Looking for a free kick there, but it's not coming, and the umpire will throw it again right on the 50-metre mark on the far side.
And we're talking about that tackling pressure, and the tackles at the moment are 14-8 in the way of Darwin.
They've turned up the pressure as Miles with his own clearance. Eilert goes the one Duke, drops it, gets the handball away. Philo with a barrel to centre half back. That one's over the line, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
So the pressure stepped up against Nightcliff, and they're not as clean with the football, or their delivery into their forwards or coming out of their back half is as clean it was in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think in the general one-on-one contest around the ground, Buffaloes probably have the better of Nightcliff. In that space, Nightcliff are good, but the one-on-one battles, I think, at the moment in the air, and, you know, Buffaloes just have the handle on them at the moment.
So Philo handballs to himself, goes and gets it. Free kick there. Umpire says play on. Here's Scanlon. Deep inside 50. They've got the numbers here. Nightcliff, and just like that, they get one back through Bricknell. And Nightcliff moved to 6-8-44. Darwin Buffaloes 6-4-40.
Yeah, Savika there tried to really attack the ball, which I love as a defender, but just unfortunately, if you see the replay here, just sort of overcommitted a little bit. But as we go back to Scanlon, got the free kick, played on, the Buffaloes sort of stopped, unfortunately, but he had a bounce and lovely penetrating kick right into a deep forward line there. But you see the Buffaloes defender come through, really attack the ball, and a bit of a no-no as a defender, let the ball over the back as Bricknell and forwards love running towards the face of goals, and he gets his second goal for the night, Matty Bricknell.
That's just the experience of Scanlon. Stood up in the tackle and then realised that everybody else had stopped, and he took off the advantage.
So back underway, Miles with a nice, lovely tap. And to Stokes, he puts him inside 50 again. Kane Riley does well, the big boy. Gets handball over the top. He's Eilert. It's off half back now. Stinker of a kick, but it still works out. He's that good. Here's Wills. Just snaps the ball inside 50 for Nightcliff. The clearing there for Buffs. Collinson. Beautiful work there. Atkinson, long down the line. Went a free kick for that under the knees trick. Umpire says play on. But again, Nightcliff with the numbers across half back. Looks like it's coming back though. Coming back deeper inside 50 in the Shillaby direction. Kane Riley flies. Shillaby stays on the ground. Gets wrapped up in the tackle, and that is holding the ball every day of the week. Great effort there from the captain, Brown, in his 100th game.
Bradley Stokes coming off half-back, hitting that ball well, as we talked about earlier. But a great captain's tackle in there, defensive.
So the Brown Town goes long. Oh, big fly over there. Didn't really get near it. Clark with the barrel inside 50. And what's happening here? It's like there's a free kick off the ball, and it's going way downfield by the looks of it.
It's coming back to where the kick came from.
Oh, no. Umpire's bringing it back.
So a free kick to Nightcliff.
Not really sure what that was for, Walter. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Kept an eye on it.
As we go to the replay. No, didn't quite help that one. Right, there's been a mark, and there's going to be 50 metres impeding on the mark. So that's going the way of Chris Atkinson.
He's been a good contributor for one of their midfielders this year, Chris Atkinson.
So Atkinson puts it inside 50. Have a look at this man. Don't give him that much room. Young Joel Buderick. What are you thinking, pal? What's he lining up for, Timmy?
He's lining up for goal number 4. I was just sort of watching that lead there, and just his sideways movement was fantastic. Nathan Brown was actually sitting in the hole to try and stop him do that, but he just sort of ran one way and just pushed off that left foot, and just that turn of pace, that change of movement was just amazing, and found a little bit of space, and beautiful kick as well to his advantage, and just wait for him to play on here, but he doesn't. He does the natural drop punt, pushes just across the face. Then another go on the ground. I reckon it might have hit the post.
It did hit the post. Stephen Anderson crumbed it off the pack and quickly got it to his boot and hit the post.
Sam Bono will not like that. He usually drills M1s.
Need to do the banana. We keep saying it.
He's done 3 tonight.
He would do a banana directly in front if he could, that young man. It's the clearing kick from Brown. Straight towards Roses. Atkinson with the kick back inside 50. He's Sambono underneath it. Ball pops out through Peris. He just gets a clearing kick to centre half back. Saveka just punches it forward. Anderson, his handball gets chopped off. Oh, gets crunched in a tackle, and the umpire right on the spot there, paying that one for too high. So Anderson comes out to Saveka. We've got a game on our hands here at TIO. Just a bit of feeling in it. Stokes with the spearing kick inside 50. It's a beautiful one to Jackson Clark. He's on the tight angle.
There's your pocket again, Tim. Getting caught up in the pockets, both teams in this quarter, as they did in the first quarter with Nightcliff.
So this one to get the Buffs back in front. Seesawing affair here at TIO. Banana, and it's just snuck in for a behind as Darwin Buffaloes, they move to 6-6-42. Nightcliff 6-8-44. Nightcliff look to move it quickly. Patrick White in unfamiliar territory down back.
Ran too far. They've caught him.
Run too far. I'll have to see the replay of that. Not under a lot of pressure, Walter.
No, that's what you call an unforced turnover.
You just
Nick.
mark that down on your high-tech stat sheet. I love it. He's better than Hodgie. You know what? I don't even miss Hodgie, too. Good luck to Hodgie if you're watching tomorrow with the Adelaide Crows. However, I don't miss him. Look at you with his stats. I'm really impressed.
Thank you, Nick.
My pleasure, treasure. Let's have a look at this. The big boy O'Neill, best on ground last week at Nightcliff Oval, goes long with a bit of a floater. Oh! Have a look at him! I can't believe it! How could you give a man so much space? Jeez. Extraordinary scenes here at TIO. What's the coach doing? Don't give him space. Sam Bono, please.
That's their fifth mark inside 50, Tim.
And a good one. Look at this. Sam Bono kicks it over to the Pints Club. He loves it that much. What's that goal number, Tim?
4.
Yes,
4.
you are on Sam Bono Goal Watch tonight, my friend. You are on loving his work. He's on the way to a bag here. Darwin Buffalo 7-6-48. Nightcliff 6-8-44. 22 minutes played in the second quarter. It's been the Sam Bono show so far with a couple of nice big marks.
So goals to 2 for Sam Bono, 1 for Jackson Clark and 1 for Shillabeer, and a single one for Matty Bricknell for Nightcliff, and Buffs have kicked 4 goals, 5 for the quarter, Tim.
Yeah, really taking control of the game here now, but Nightcliff get the clearance here. You see Stokes working his man under the ball, keeps his balance. Great stuff. Maybe that low attack on the knees, and he does go against him, unfortunately. So Nightcliff will get the kick. 60 metres out.
He can't believe it. Stevenson, we've got a game on our hands here, Timmy.
Yeah, that's the rule, though. Like, they dive and, you know, they're trying to take away those broken legs, which we've seen before. So Nightcliff pushed the ball into their forward line. He's found some space coming through there almost from nowhere, Patrick White. And second grab takes the mark about 40 metres out. He'll kick it from 45. Just go back, I think, now, 23-minute mark of this quarter, and really needs to kick this goal for Nightcliff, which will now be after the siren.
And there it is, half-time. It's Paddy White to kick this. He'll put them back in front going into half-time. Feel them full of confidence. It's Paddy White. You just see with the hand there taped up as he's on his way. Darwin Buff boys just giving him an absolute mouthful. Gets close to the man on the mark. And he's got it. He's got it. So a much-needed goal, 7-8-50 and Nightcliff. Darwin Buffaloes 7-6-48. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
Isn't that the new neighbour?
Yep, pretty sure she's from down south.
She arrived last week. Just had her windscreen broken by a falling coconut.
No. I was at Jingly. Jingly!
If she was with TIO, she'd be talking to a local. Might even be from Jingly.
Am I covered for coconuts?
And it's good to know. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance offer the option of no excess for windscreen claims.
Jingly coconut curry.
Did you know that somewhere in Australia a fresh keg of Carlton Draft is changed every 46 seconds? It's that fresh.
Carlton Draft, it's that fresh, baby.
Life. So full of surprises. But you don't want a headache to be one of them. Get Panadol Rapid from Chemist Warehouse. It's absorbed 2 times faster than regular Panadol tablets, so you won't miss life's special moments. Panadol Rapid. When pain is gone, life takes its place. Available at Chemist Warehouse for the lowest prices guaranteed.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience. Dedicated sports zones, men's performance, lifestyle, basketball. All new women's zone from running to yoga. And Intersport Kids Zone. All ages, performance footwear and apparel. Plus the new dedicated football zone. All year for all codes. For awesome service and advice, come in and see us. The all-new Intersport concept store, Casuarina Square.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium, where it's Nightcliff 7-8-50 to Darwin Buffaloes 7-6-48. Fellas, we have got a game on our hands.
Yeah, it sort of evened up in that half. First quarter was all Nightcliff, and then that quarter was mainly all Buffaloes. You know, just for clearances, it's 12-13 in the favour of Darwin overall. You know, centre clearances are 9-5 for that half. So, and inside 50s are squared off after that 22-12 in the first quarter to 15-8 in that in the second quarter. And the tackling pressure from Darwin in that quarter was, you know, they've had 28 tackles for the half to Nightcliff 22.
Jimmy, Sambono causing plenty of headaches down back for Nightcliff.
Yeah, we spoke about the Sambono-Shillaby forward line for the Buffaloes, and yes, Shillaby has kicked the 2 big long bombs, and Sambono's been very exciting, taking 2 screamers, kicking 4 goals, and he's definitely the most dominant forward line player on the oval.
Game on our hands, that it is. As we're back underway in the third quarter at TIO Stadium. Stokes being held onto. Advantage paid. Here's O'Neill. Can go all the way. The long bomb just chips it over the top. And the mark has been paid. No, it's an arm chop going to Jackson Clark. So it could be the start that Buffaloes are after.
Jackson Clark in an unusual role, playing forward, generally plays back.
Yeah, having his third shot at goal. Kicked 1 goal in that second quarter. Just missed the little banana one, but now should kick this one from 30 metres straight out in front.
So Clark on the approach with the purple boots. Kick underway. He's straight over the goal umpire's hat. They get the first. They get around him. Darwin Buffaloes 8-6-54. Nightcliff 7-8-50. Just a 1 minute played in the third quarter.
Yeah, so again, that open forward line, they've really stretched out Nightcliff. You know, when a defender gets one-on-one in those sort of situations, and you've got front spot, the sort of chop free kick. And O'Neill was just really aware there to break away from that free kick given.
Nice little chip over the top too.
Interesting to see Chris Bucks put Julian Lockwood in the ruck work. He obviously recognised Miles' dominance within the game and hasn't done much ruck work this evening, and is in there starting now, just trying to curb the influence of Big Miles, who does win the tap again. But Nightcliff, through their strong midfielders, can get the first kick. Not really clearing the ball yet though. Buffaloes fighting for the ball. Barunga, nice little hands out to Chris Williams. Kicks the ball straight up in the ends for Lights here. Good luck who can grab this one. Play on, far side. Roses, I think, grabs the ball, wheels around onto his left foot, looking inboard, needs to be perfect, and he is, to his lookalike, Timmy Eldridge.
So Eldridge just hits up the big boy O'Neill, gets a nice handball quickly off to Stokes. Here's Stokes, kick underway, over the top, look who it is, plays on, Bonana, Sambono gets another. Oh, the big boy, it's party time at TIO Stadium as he gets his 5th. And Darwin extend the lead to 10 points.
Just a great lead here. Oh, sorry, great kick by Matthew Stokes. So not wrong Stokes. Jared Stokes, I think it is.
Correct.
So he just probably could have gone for goal, but just sort of kicked the ball across his body, just into the advantage of Sambono. And why wouldn't you? And Sambono did the rest. But great movement there by the Buffaloes, and they kicked their 9th goal of the evening, 9-6-60 to the Nightcliff Tigers, 7-8-50, a 10-point lead.
But that's the sort of team involvement that they have at Buffaloes now that Matty's instilled on them, because, you know, when Stokesy gets up and going inside 50, he has a ping, and he has done in past years, but then he really just lowered his eyes and saw Sambono. It was a really well-weighted kick, as you said, Tim, over the back.
Yep, beautiful play by the Buffaloes. They're looking the good things at the moment.
I'm just getting a bit excited. He's kicked 5, the big boy. There's a few more to come, one would think, as we're back in the middle. There's a bit of a delay on the delivery of the Sharon, Timmy.
Yeah, conveyance.
Bit inconvenient as we're back. Williams with the clearance, and that one looks to me as though it's going over the line. We'll have a boundary throw in on the forward flank for the Buffs. So they're looking really sharp here early in the third quarter.
And they've moved Budrick off Sambono and put Cole Cossack back there.
Yep. That's the Sambono show. Shillaby with the tap over the back. This ball on the deck here for the moment. Might work out for Nightcliff. Nice handy footwork there from Cossack. Into the big boy, McLeod. It's a kick long down the line. And that one's over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Cameron Islet's going back onto the ball. As Scanlon is on the ball also. So they've got their A-graders playing on the ball, Tim.
Yeah, we spoke about it before the game, and you're wondering how dominant they would be, but they've really been held here, I think, through the ruckwork dominance, haven't had their first touch. But Buffaloes kicked the ball up in the air towards their forward line. Shillabeer may have been held here. It looks like, no, against Shillabeer.
He's given away the free kick to Riley. He moves it quickly. Islet takes a mark out in front of O'Neill. It's a nice looking kick over the back there to Jai Fitzpatrick. He gets on his bike, and that one's over the line for a boundary throw-in.
It's become pretty one-dimensional, Nightcliff, at the moment. They're sort of, previously in the first half, they did have 2 or 3 present when they had the ball across the centre, and now, you know, they had Zach Dirksen lead up the middle, and then they had that real wide one that Cammy Islet had to kick the ball out to.
So the tap from Miles, another good one. Ball pops out the back to O'Neill. Just gets boot to ball. Islet in pursuit. Here's the captain in his 100th. Nathan Brown nearly gets wrapped up. Gets the kick away. And the umpires
made a free kick
downfield. The free kick to Brown. That's going downfield though. Look at this Chisler inside 50. Pops over the back. Barrawonga held on to. Umpire says play on. Quick kick away is a good one, and the celebration to match Matty Bricknell with a nice snap over the shoulder. Just keep Nightcliff in touch. 8-8-56 to Darwin Buffaloes, 9-6-60.
Yeah, Matty Bricknell's third goal. Hasn't had too many touches tonight, but what he's done has been very good and just played that front and centre there. You see the high tackle there just as he kicked the ball there from Nathan Brown, the captain, and Roses did take a great mark, but you know, the ball went back to Paul Scanlon, who saw try to do the hard lead. They just didn't quite get him, but the ball snuck over the back there. Bricknell comes through. See him just sitting off the pack there. Nice, quickly, just that one step and kick, and he knew straight away he kicked the goal, and that's his third for the night. Nightcliff go to 7 goals, 8-50 to Darwin, 9-6-60. 56, sorry, missed that goal.
And back in the middle we are. Miles with the tap. Stokes with the clearance. It's happened a bit, although he's turned this one over. Might get wrapped up. Good tackle, good heat there from Anderson. Umpire says play. McLeod tries to take one on. That's holding the pill. Umpire says advantage. Anderson with the kick inside 50. Jackson Clark at ground level. Just out from Paris. Ball comes out to forward flank. Buffs with the numbers. Nice handball though. Just missed the target. His body's flying everywhere. Brown under pressure. Collinson keeps it in, taps it long down the line. And Sambono sees that one out, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, a bit unlucky. I think Tim Eldridge was coming through to Lavis Shepherd, and the ball got handballed to him, so wasn't quite ready for it there. But yeah, deep in the forward line here, Buffs have another chance to try and extend their lead.
So ball thrown back in. Miles again with the tap, straight to Brown for Nightcliff. He gets a clearing kick out. Boys fly, umpire says play on. The umpire's picked out a free kick here. It's going the way of Nightcliff.
Team not to have control of the ball.
Kyle Emery to Wilson. Wilson just looking for options. Goes long down the line. And there's been a free kick coming back.
It'll be a free kick to Buffs because Tim Eldridge got knocked off the ball here before the ball was kicked, so that's the greatest advantage, goes with Joey Collinson.
So the little man, Collinson, with the ball. About 80 around from goal. Just puts it to advantage. Look at that for a kick. Beautiful Chisler to Shillabeer. He's going to go back and have a set shot on goal. Difficult angle. Plays on. Here he goes. Kick underway, just stabs it a bit, goes across the face. Here's Sambono, and that one's over the line for a boundary throw. We just saw the 2 defenders there from Nightcliff just not really feel comfortable when the big Sambono boys around and the ball's on the deck, Walter.
No, they had a 2-on-1 situation there, and they were both looking and waiting.
So ball thrown back in. Jules Lockwood with the tap down. Bodies flying around. Wilson, ball pops out. Kick long there, clever little tap there. Stevenson misses it. Here's Anderson, does well. Just throws the ball on the boot. Inside Brown with the double fister. Here's Sambono in hot pursuit. Beautiful tackle, umpire says play on. Brown just gives it straight to Roses. Here they go, they've got the numbers, Nightcliff, the clearing kick. They're not out of trouble yet though. Big fly from the back from Armat. Umpire says play on. Here's Joey Collinson with the snap on goal. It's bending back. It's just hit the post. So a minor score there to the Darwin Buffaloes. And it looks like Brown's gone down with an injury. Darwin Buffaloes 9-7-61 to Nightcliff 8-8-56.
Nightcliff has played on there, turned the ball over, and they haven't hurt him. Anderson had the opportunity there to really hurt Nightcliff there with another turnover coming out of defence. But they kicked the point, and Nightcliff will have another crack coming out of defence again from the 50.
Ooh. See Captain Brown just go into the post there. Oh, lucky kick out there. Just finding big Kane Riley. As Jackson Clark stands a mark. Riley with the long kick. Out of trouble. Philo flies on a teammate. Drops the ball. Collinson off the deck, and that one's gone over the line for a throw-in. And just letting each other know about it.
I think Buffaloes are just winning the little one-on-ones, the 50-50s, Tim, at this stage. You know, they're getting the hand or they're just getting a tackle in to release the ball, and then they're winning the ball back.
Yeah, they're playing good footy at the moment, the Buffaloes. Nightcliff sort of just hanging in there at the moment, I feel, but you see there another great tackle by Stokes. Collinson comes through to try to take the ball with him. Again, bodies throwing themselves in there. Quick kick gets forward, just sneaks the ball into their 50. Can't try and get control there, does Timmy Eldridge, and the ball will be thrown up on the 50-metre line again in the forward line for the Buffs.
They've looks like they've just turned up, Buffs, in this third quarter, Walter. They've just cranked it up another gear.
Yeah, so Atkinson comes on to do the ruck work with Julian Lockwood. Chris Atkinson's also, Williams is back on the ground as well. The ball screams around. It's been kicked off the ground by Collinson. Cossack ends up with it. Rebounds out of 50 to a one-on-one situation where Burrawunga takes on Bricknell. O'Reilly, best for last week for Nightcliff, kicks out to Shillabeer. Shillabeer takes the...
Oh, don't bounce the ball, big fella.
Walter just called O'Neill O'Reilly, which is myself. I'm having a blinder in the commentary box. Have a look at this.
He's got to go.
It's O'Neill. Oh, if it was O'Reilly, he would have drilled that one.
Oh, God, O'Reilly.
Good one, Walter.
I got carried away there.
You did.
Yeah.
You just got to get in the moment, Walt.
That's it.
And that's what you did. And you recognised a good player and you called him O'Reilly, so well done. So ball kicked back out of the way. Collinson with the defence. He cops one high. Meanwhile, there's one for an arm chop against Big O'Neill. Joey Collinson just doing a 360 pirouette style. If you have a look at this one, have a look at that. Now, what's going on down here?
Jack Stokes took a mark when he was on the interchange.
Savika. It's just starting to get a bit weird here as the ball pops over the back. Moroney in space, does a banana, probably doesn't have to. Over the top of Sambono's head. Ball still in play, now it's over the line. Jackson Clark will see that one over and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, just probably needed to straighten up and just kick the traditional drop punt there. I think just didn't have a... It was probably a little bit too far out to try the banana, but still in a dangerous area here for the Buffs.
So ball thrown back in. Shillaby doing the ruck work because they've picked out a free kick here. It's going Nightcliff's way. It's going to Kane Riley. So he puts it long down the line. Buffs with the numbers here. Anderson with a nice fist over the top. It's at the centre half forward. Stokes with a brilliant tackle. Ball pops out. Here's Cossack. Philo does well in traffic. Gets a nice ball outside to the wing. Here go the Nightcliff Tigers. A long ball deep inside 50s. A good one.
It's a free kick that's coming back down the ground.
Oh.
Zach Dirksen sort of treated Steve Anderson with a bit of remorse to the face, so the free kick coming right back down the ground.
Geez, that hurts.
There's the first one there. That's what the umpires paid it for there, and that second one.
Yeah, it's all happening. He's just real silly work there from Zach Dirksen. Anyway, plays back underway. And we'll have a boundary throw. But just going back, Nightcliff had the set shot on goal, and he's given away a really silly free kick, hasn't he, Walt?
Yeah, the umpires have been paying that all year. The head's a no-go zone.
So ball thrown back up. It's not Nightcliff with the numbers at ground level. Atkinson does well. Williamson pops out. Barrawonga taps it forward. Stokes with the handball over the top. Oh, good bump there. Ball pops out. It's on the deck. Here's Moroney, gets a handball. Ball pops out again. Stokes with a clever little handball. It's a bit Captain Chaos at the moment. Ball down there. There's a bit of Gaelic football style there. Hylett off the ground, gets his handball up. Joel Buderick, who's done well, just lowered the eyes and hit up the target. Just need to slow the game down a bit, do Nightcliff. Big fly there from Barrawonga, and he just gets it over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, they're really just looking for, as we saw, they nearly got that goal, Nightcliff, with that little bit of space. All their numbers have really pushed up, so if they can do a quick sort of exit from the fence and find some runners, they can get it into their forward line, but they just can't get their hands on the ball at the moment and get dangerous.
So ball thrown back in. Atkinson with the tap. Ball pops over the top. It's holding the ball in my eyes. Umpire says play on. Here you go, Nightcliff again. Long ball deep inside 50. Anderson stands under it for the Buffs. They fly. Ball pops on the ground. Savika takes what he should have taken. Paddy White off the deck. He had plenty of time. Should have picked it up and drilled that one. Thought he just had a bit of heat on his back. That's through for a minor. So Darwin Buffaloes 9-9-63. Nightcliff 8-9-57. 16 minutes gone.
10-4 inside 50s, going 6 in the way of Darwin.
There's a bit of the perceived pressure there by Paddy White. Buffs have been tackling, pressure's been fantastic, and he just sort of, as you said, felt that defence and that pressure from the game and just sort of rushed it, and, you know, probably could have run in to kick the goal.
So Cam Hylett does well there in a 3-on-1. Wins the ball. Kane Riley under pressure, gets a handball outside. Barrawonga does well. That ball just comes off the deck. Here's White. What can he do? Gets a beautiful handball up to Farron James. Long, deep ball. Was it touched? No. Umpire likes it. Nightcliff get a much-needed goal. And it's all even Steven at TIO. 9-9 apiece. 17 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Yeah, great stuff there by Nightcliff. We've been saying they've been struggling to find some space and just some clean movement from the fence here. They just couldn't get the ball going there, Buffs, and the little soccer gets out to some advantage. There's a 3-on-1 here on the far side there. Patrick White, nice quick hands, and Kate Riley just on the 50-metre line, got the ball over the back of the pack. Well done by Matty Bricknell to shepherd the ball through, and that's a really important goal for Nightcliff.
I think that was Farron James, wasn't it?
Farron James with a kick inside 50, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought they Bricknell touched that on the line.
Yes, seen that way.
Oh, geez, what have you done there, Bruz? Anyway, in the middle, we are again. Phil Wills with the hard ball get, but turns it straight over to O'Neill. O'Neill goes backward to Atkinson. Atkinson puts it deep inside 50 in the Shillaby direction, and he's won a free kick for in the back. It did look like it was there. And it's Big Miles.
Yeah, they've just probably tried to stretch the Nightcliff forward line here, both Shillaby and Miles down there, and just sort of probably found a smaller opponent and yeah, got the front position. It's a pretty hard man to get around and just was held onto, and he gets a chance here to kick his first goal for the night.
Big Toddy Miles has been fantastic all evening. Shot on goal is a good one. He likes it. Goal umpire likes it. Darwin Buffaloes get back in front. What?
They surely do, and as Tim said, they've really stretched them with their height. Shillaby has gone off for a rest. No, he's still out there, and Todd Miles has gone forward, and Sambono still playing one out. So, you know, you've got the flash of Sambono and the strength of Miles in the forward line. But again, the tackling pressure from Buffaloes in the centre there when Wills had a free clear run at the ball and he was out, and there was just the tackle by Stokes to make sure that the ball was nullified.
Yeah, probably pretty important time here. You know, Miles down that forward line, they're not dominating the ruck. So Atkinson's got a big job here just to try and work it. As he does win the ruck again for the Buffaloes, that definite dominance into a forward line there. Can't quite take it, does Collinson, but a nice quick kick there into the dangerous area by O'Neill. Here's Shillabeer. Tries to take him on. Trips over, nearly gets it in the back, and he will get the free kick up. Pretty unlucky there for the Nightcliff defender. And he just sort of fell over and landed on top of him, poor Riley. But Shillabeer in a really tough angle here. Probably will look to pass the ball off as you see the eyes wandering around.
So Shillabeer, as we just have a look at the replay here, goes to ground and was pretty lucky to win that free kick. Anyway, we're back underway. Kick right to the goal line. Follow with the clearing kick. Out towards Roses. But it's Harry Williams. Does well, keeps his feet. Goes long. There's a free kick downfield. No. Is it? Yeah, it's a free kick downfield. So it looks like Ryan Moo will take this one. He's just weighing up his options. Goes long in the Wilson direction. Slides on the ground. Probably didn't have to go to ground. Burrawunga does the same. And they're just sitting on top of each other here. And the umpire says, enough of that, boys. We'll ball it up.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to kick goals around those pockets. Just to me, going back to that forward line there in the first quarter, they just kept kicking out wide. Whereas I'd much rather see the ball get into that dangerous area where the ball can, you know, the small players can get in front of the centre and get the ball kicking goals. So it's just an area I reckon Nightcliff need to improve on in the moment is those forward entries.
I've never seen that one. The umpire asked who was in the ruck. No one said anything, and the ball went up, and then the ball hit the deck, then they all jumped on it. Well, interesting scenes.
It's the interpretation, isn't it? No nominate. At least the players had enough sense to not to go off for it, I suppose.
That Nick O'Reilly player, he would have flew for it, I reckon, if he was.
He's a good player, that Nick O'Reilly.
I'll pass it on, Mol.
Thank you.
Ball thrown back in. Nightcliff with the numbers at ground level. Just ball sits up in the air. It's on the deck. And field umpire circling, and we'll throw it up. Right in front of Nightcliff's goal, about 40 metres out. So we've got a game on our hands. Have a look at that work from Paris. Kick underway to the top of the square. Jules Lockwood sits underneath it. He's got a free kick. Advantage played. Ryan Moo snaps it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all even again.
So Ryan Moo kicks his second goal for the game, just through his small work around the ground and crumbing, and Jules Lockwood held his body in front and was wrapped up by Savika then, and Joey Anderson, I'm sorry, and Moo clean hands and finishes with a goal.
Beautiful work there from the little fella. Good legitimate front and centre work from that little man.
And we know from this afternoon's first game that St Mary's have won through to the first semi next week. So the loser of this game will play St Mary's next week in the 4:30 game, whereas the winner will get to take on Southern Districts in the second semi-final.
Here's Ryan Moo again, takes a good mark out in front of Stevenson, plays on quickly and just lines it up and does really well. Farron James will go back, have a set shot from about 40 out, and the chance to put Nightcliff back in front.
You know, watching the earlier game, I don't think the loser would be real keen to be playing St Mary's. You know how good they are in finals, and they had a really good win this afternoon versus Tiwi. So, yeah, both teams will be really keen to make sure they get the win. And Nightcliff just starting to get a bit of a hold in the game here, and that's another goal late in the quarter. They seem to be kicking lots of late goals, and that's a really important goal for Nightcliff. 2 goals in just under a minute, and they go out to a 6-point lead now.
And that's Farron James' second goal for the quarter. Ryan Moo was involved in the last goal and also that one and the goal assist. The interchange bench is having a workout from Nightcliff. Bricknell comes back on the ground, as does Kyle Cossack.
So we've got a game on our hands. Nightcliff 11-9, 75. Darwin 10-9, 69. 23 minutes gone here in the third quarter. You'd think the siren, there wouldn't be too much left in this one. Ball thrown up. Stokes, is it? No, Phil Pott wears one in the back, wins the free kick. Trying to draw the 50 from Big Jules Lockwoods. Nothing's doing there. Good one-on-one battle there to Riley and Shillabeer. Ball pops out. Here you go, the Buffs. Ball inside 50 to the top of the square. They all fly. Have a look at this man. Ball snapped, but smothered. Timmy Aldridge. Where's one? Ball pops out again. Ball snapped to the top. All Nightcliff though with the numbers. Handball's up. Philo with the kick, but it's only as far as Shillabeer. He drops what he should have taken. Good pressure there from Nightcliff. Ball's coming back in though. They're lining up, and have a look. Sambono in space again. And this one is for number 6. And to even things up again, Wall.
Yeah, so again, the unforced turnover from Nightcliff, they had 2 players that Mark was dropped, and it was just a quick kick out the boot, and then it came out to a Darwin player. And then Sambono's on the end of it, having his, I think this is his 7th shot on goal.
Is it? Yeah. So here he goes, young Sambono.
For number 6, but his 8th shot on goal.
Kick underway on the siren is a good one. He gets number 6. It's all even Stevens here at TIO Stadium, 11-9 apiece. We'll be back with the final quarter right after this.
Isn't that the new neighbour?
Yep, pretty sure she's from down south.
She arrived last week. Just had her windscreen broken by a falling coconut.
No. I was at Jingly. Jingly!
If she was with TIO, she'd be talking to a local. Might even be from Jingly.
Am I covered for coconuts?
And it's good to know. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance offer the option of no excess for windscreen claims.
Jingly coconut curry.
Every day, we go beyond. Beyond running the power networks and beyond providing the water services that sustain life in the Territory. In fact, we're proud to sponsor and partner with the sporting organisations, charities, events and community groups that are essential to every day in the Territory. Because we are power and water.
So we can feel, really feel, together real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
1,300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's hire gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce. Coffee white with 1 bun with icing. No, pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Another life saved with the Chemist Warehouse app. Take control of your health and wellness. Download now.
Are you overrun with rubbish and need a skip bin? For easy disposal from your garden cleanup, renovation or spring clean? When you think skip bins, think NTRS. NTRS, your friendly, reliable and local waste disposal company.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium, where we've got an absolute rip snorter of a game. Fellas, it is 11-9 apiece. Walter, what have you liked so far?
Yeah, I've just liked the way that both teams have gone about it. They've made the most of their opportunities, you know, in that quarter. Nightcliff had 7 inside 50s but kicked 4 goals, and Darwin had 14. So they're making every chance an opportunity, and the opportunity turns into a goal, and it's been from end to end, and it's been a great game of footy, Tim.
Yeah, we had that feeling early in that third quarter. The Buffs sort of kicked those 2 goals fairly quickly, and they sort of seemed to take control of the game. And then, you know, Nightcliff fought back as the game got later on. Whether it's their fitness, I'm not sure, but they kicked 2 late goals and, you know, hit the lead. And then, you know, obviously we saw that man Sam Boner kick his 6th goal just on the side to make it a tied game. So no, it's a very close game, obviously with the tied scoreboard there. But yeah, to me, I sort of feel Buffs sort of had that bit of a run going and just sort of didn't quite run away with it like I thought they might have then.
How have you found Nathan Brown's game in his 100th game? We saw him have a collision with the goalpost a little earlier on tonight. But how have you found his game thus far?
Yeah, I think he's been okay. I mean, he's been a consistent contributor week in, week out. He doesn't do anything, you know, to win a game of football, but he's just Mr. Consistency, isn't he? And he puts his body on the line, and, you know, hitting the goalpost is just as we see it now on our replay here. It's what Brownie's like, isn't it? Nathan Brown is just a consistent hard player for Nightcliff, and leads the side well. Yeah,
little right move there. We saw he kicked the goal that quarter, also sort of palmed off for that second one as well, as we see there Sam Boner kicking that 6th goal of the match for him, and he's definitely a dominating forward, and, you know, they had to make that change that quarter to try and stem his influence, but he's definitely going to be someone in this last quarter to watch for, and they'll be worried every time the ball goes near him.
Hasn't quite worked out. He's on fire, young Adam Sambono, but just I know you mentioned it late in the last quarter, Timmy, but for those people playing at home, what is the vibe next week? Who plays who?
Yeah, so St Mary's this afternoon knocked Tiwi out of the race. So first time we've seen Tiwi in the finals for a number of years, so they had a really good win in that elimination final. So they moved through to the first semi, which will be 4:30 next Saturday here at TIO, and they'll play the loser of this game. The winner plays Southern Districts, who have been the dominating side throughout the whole year, and yeah, so the winner plays Southern Districts, the loser plays St Mary's, then they'll become the last 4 teams in the finals this year.
It's worked out to be an absolute rip snorter of the season, and the finals is looking unbelievable as the crowd's just revving it up a notch, as you can hear in the background. And just like that, they've just stopped. You can just turn it on and off. The Darwin crowd, everyone's up and about. We're up and about. We're underway in the last quarter as Miles gets the tap, but it's only as far as Nightcliff. Here's Wilson with the nice bullet-like kick inside 50 with good punch from behind from the Darwin Buffaloes defender. Nightcliff come out with plenty of intent early here, and Anderson sees that one over, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, a couple of big tackles there. Stokes came through and had a ripper of a tackle there. So they've been good all night with that tackling pressure, and yeah, it's going to be really exciting this last quarter. Started off very fiery, and it's going to be pretty fiery the whole time too, I reckon.
It's good to see the grandstand on the other side. There's about 6 people sitting in it. The first time I've seen anyone sitting at Walt since they had it up. I don't mind it though. Back underway. Wilson with the handball out, only as far as Anderson. And he sees that one over the line for a boundary throw-in. Who's going to get the first goal here? Just crack this one open. It's up Nightcliff's end. The ball thrown back in. Jules Lockwood doing the ruck work. Miles with the tap though. Gets his own clearance. Ball pops out. Here's Roses with the handball over the top. Shillabeer at the back, uses a body, umpire says play on. Good tackle there, beautiful work, that's holding the pill, surely. Umpire says play on. Nightcliff with the clearing kick, long down the line. Jules Lockwood keeps his feet. O'Neill works out for him, Stevenson with the long kick down the line. It's a free kick downfield, looks like Stevenson was dropped after it. Yeah, Nightcliff player needs to give the ball back here. We might give away 50. I know.
Shillabeer was trying to steal the kick, but he gets the ball anyway, and he lets rip with a big bomber. 40 metres out. no mark there for Buffaloes. Coming through here is Timmy Eldridge with some pace. Chris Williams tries to head over the ball. Dives on the ball. Could be pinned holding the ball here. Hasn't got the ball out. Needs to get it out quickly. They're jumping on top of him. The umpire's wheeling around and he'll throw the ball up. Pretty bit lucky to get away with it there. Just didn't want to clear the ball.
So they definitely sat on young Timmy Eldridge there. He gets up after about 30 blokes, gets off. He's a tough unit. Good tap there from Miles. Ball pops out the outside. Quick shot on goal. Just things are fogging up a touch in the commentary box. Can't see much down that way.
Paddy Cossack's going back on young Sambono now.
So Cossack with the job on the man of the moment, Adam Sambono, as we've got boundary throwing in the forward pocket. The Buffs get one here early in the final quarter.
Two big men, Paris and Anderson, go at the ball.
A bit of a flick there. Jackson Clark being held on to by Kane Riley. Umpire says play on. Clark jumps on Riley. Ball pops out. Here's Cossack. Does well. Gets hands just in the way of Paris. Paris flicks it up. Jalen Clark with a banana. Here's Paddy White with his head over the pill. With Buffaloes with the numbers. Wilson, no. Gets a tap. Miles gets crunched in the big tackle from Paris. Does well. Barrawonga stands on top of it. Stevenson wrapping that one up. And the umpire says, enough of that, fellas. I'll ball this one up.
Big tackle by Paris there to bring the big fella Todd Miles to ground.
Miles with a beautiful tap towards Jalen Clark. Captain Brown does well. Goes back with the flight of the ball. Looks to switch it to Eilert. Now Eilert's got plenty of time and space. Just puts it out in front of Harry Williams, and that one's over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, well done there by Joey Anderson. Just sort of left his man, sort of read the ball better than his opponent there, and just sort of had that, you know, expertise as a defender to leave the man and, you know, approach the ball and stop that forward thrust. So forced a forward throw in here for the Nightcliff Tigers, who try to get the ball forward, can't get it. Cam Eilert pushes the ball out on his left hand, will kick into the dangerous area there. See Joe Anderson push back, can't take it. He's gone to the ground.
Oh, big McLeod! It's gone off the deck. Now the umpires are just going to have a conversation here, whether it was touched or not. That horde is going right off. I can't cop it. Want to find out who's got that, and it's a goal. So big Scotty McLeod gets his first of the evening and puts Nightcliff out in front by 6 points, 12-9-81 to 11-9-75.
Yeah, we watched the replay here again. I'm not sure exactly what happened in the end. That we'll follow this replay to see exactly where the ball goes. But we saw Filo kick the ball into that dangerous area, which I've been asking for all night. You know, just dropped the eyes a little bit. Scotty McLeod, the big legs, just got through there. And, yeah, good call. Got his boot to the ball before the hands got down. And umpires, the little chat they had, they were right. Needed the replay, but they didn't.
Well, spot on as we have a look at the crowd. Big vocal crowd tonight in at TIO Stadium. Nightcliff back in front by 6 points. Miles with the tap and the clearance. He's done that a few times tonight. Eldridge flicks it to his own advantage. Does well. Gets a handball out to Anderson. With that unusual ball drop again, but straight down the throat of Violet. Umpire says play on. I thought that looked like a mark to myself. And he's called this one in, and he'll throw it up.
I think it might have snuck out of his hands and hit the deck underneath there. So good call again by the umpire. A couple of good calls in a few minutes there.
So Miles and Wills, that's the battle for the ages. Miles winning that one. Barrawonga in pursuit. And looks like he's given away the free kick. Going the way of Wilson. As we just have a look here. Yeah, just got one over the chops. It's coming back to Wilson. Looks to move it quickly. Does so. Buderick just pops it over to Kane Riley. He's had another good game tonight. And plenty of great one-on-one battles with him and Shillaby. Good mark down there. They paid that one. So they have Zach Dirksen. He plays on. Kick into space in the Jules Lockwood direction. Does well. 2 bites of it. He's taken it. Savika couldn't do much about that one. Jules Lockwood, the big unit, he'll go back and have a shot directly in front from about 40 metres out.
Yeah, he earned the free kick during that third quarter. Didn't get the goal because big Ryan Moo took it off him. But so he'll be pretty keen. He hasn't had a dominating night tonight. First game back after a few weeks out. So he'll be really keen to go back and try and kick this goal for his team.
So Jules Lockwood. He's gone a long way back with the approach. Just taking his time. On his way now with a heavily strapped shoulder. Kick underway, is off to the right. Is it too early to say handy point, Wal?
Too early to say, I think, Nick. But the intensity's just gone out of the bubble of Darwin at the moment. Nightcliff have just taken that ascendancy. Just a couple of mistakes creeping in for Buffs, which they didn't do in the previous 2 quarters.
So the long kick in the O'Neill direction. Nice little flick over the top. Ryan Moo with his head over the ball. Umpire says play on your duct. Here's Phil Wills. He's taken that one over the line and we'll have a boundary throw in. Lucky not to give away the free kick there. Buffaloes against Moo. He put his head over the pill. Umpires will always protect them. The boundary umpires come a long way in. The nice hoist over the shoulder. Just popped over the back. Beautiful look at that kick. Doesn't hit the chest of Lockwood. Buffs with the numbers. They should win out here, although they've done well, Nightcliff, to hold this one up. Savika with a flying karate kick. Misses that one. Just a bit scrappy here at centre-half forward for Nightcliff. Ball pops out. Here's Aldridge just off the deck. But Nightcliff with the numbers again. Back inside 50 with a nice kick to Paddy White. A good spoil from Stevenson. White gets the ball back. Just dances around a few. Gives a handball out. Nice little kick over the top. Might work out well. Centering ball. You're joking! Get out of town. Unbelievable work there. For Kyle Emery, was it? I think it was Kyle Emery. Fantastic goal. Let's have a look at the replay here. As the ball comes into the forward pocket.
It's clean by hand.
It's absolute ridiculous.
Oh, it's taken the wrong one too.
Unbelievable scenes.
Very deliberate too. He knew what he was doing. You saw him when he dropped the ball, just sort of kicked the outside of the boot there, and the boys train that every time they come out to train. They love kicking those little dribbler goals, and yeah, it's paid through there, so another really important there for Emery, and they go to a 2-goal advantage here now, and the Buffs need to find one here.
So 13-point leaders are Nightcliff. Miles with the free kick. Plays on. Puts it deep inside attacking 50. Sambono flies over the back. They're going to get the quick reply. Shillaby gets that one for the Buffs. And they've cut it back to 7 points.
And good work by Todd Miles. He saw that Julian Lockwood sort of, his focus was on trying to get players organised. He played on, it was a deep entry. Tim, one of your deep entries into forward 50, and yet another goal because of the deep entry. And Shillaby got the one over the back.
And it's also that fast movement. When you get the ball going quickly from the centre square there, the defenders don't get a chance to get back. The middies don't push back into those holes. And you see there, it just sort of opens up a little bit. And you know, well done by Darren Shillaby. They knew he wasn't in the contest. Clean grab. It's a bit slippery out there at the moment, so he still was able to take the ball cleanly and finish off with a goal, and a much-needed goal there for the Buffaloes as they win the exit again. Another quick entry. We see into a dangerous area there. There's Sambono. Sneaks out the back. May have thrown that. They'll play on. Nightcliff trying to run out of the defence there. Little soccer kick there. Timmy Eldridge tries to take the ball cleanly. Tries to knock it on any way he can, but well done there by Jono Peris. Might have taken the head there, hasn't done it. Nightcliff coming out of defence. Good running, linking up a couple of handballs. They've just dropped that last one there, they're away. And then now Buffs might have earned a free kick, they haven't done it.
So here's Aldridge, gets the ball, has a bounce, free kick, but advantage paid. Ball back inside 50, Sambono just over the top of his head. A beautiful work from Kale Cossack. Just puts it across to Jai Fitzpatrick. Time and space, but Puts Buderick under pressure, but he's good enough to get out of that one. Jules Lockwood sees something he likes, although he stunk that one up. And that should be 50 metres. It's not. Umpire says play on. We've got a game on our hands. This is extraordinary. At TIO Stadium. And just held up in the middle here are the Buffs. They come sideways. He's Moroney. He's got one out wide if he likes. If it just sits down, and it does, to Williams. And Williams heads in the Shillabeer direction. Down low, takes the mark. They've worked this well, Buffs. Jonathan Perez stands the mark. Shillabeer goes long in the Sambono direction. Gets hands to it. Collinson off the deck. Sambono in pursuit. Zach Roses does well. Umpire circling and says he will throw that one up.
Just the pace around the packs when Roses has the opportunity. He's really clean on the deck and was really well held up that time by the Nightcliff defender.
And that one's tapped over the line. We'll have a boundary throw in.
So game's definitely picked up a little bit. The speed of the game, the pressure of the game. It really is this finals footy, isn't it? You love it.
Nightcliff 88, Darwin Buffaloes 81. 13 minutes played in the final quarter. Goal umpire throws that one back in. Atkinson with the tap. Nathan Brown off the deck. Straight out to Roses. He winds around on the left. Good. Lowers the eyes. And finds Chris Atkinson. And he can go back and get it back. If he slots this one, he'll get it back just to a point. 13 minutes played in the final quarter. Bit of pressure on this shot, Walt.
Yeah, it's a very big kick in the context of the game.
He goes back, taking his time. Ball on the way. Umpire likes it. What a kick from Atkinson. Gets them back to within a point. 14 minutes played in the final quarter. We've been saying it all night, but while we have got a game on our hands.
We surely have. With Sambono has 6 for the game, 2 to Clark, 1 to Miles, 1 to Chris Atkinson, that goal there, and 3 to Shillabeer. And for Nightcliff, 2 to Moo, 3 to Matt Bricknell, 2 to Kyle Emery with that sensational goal from the boundary line, 2 also to Farron James, and 1 each to Wilson, McLeod, and Zach Dirksen and Patrick White.
So Big Miles is having a rest on the bench now, the big ruckman for the Buffaloes, so it's probably a little bit of a chance here for Nightcliff to take some sort of ascendancy. So here we go, second ruckman in here for Buffs, but they still win the clearance, gets it into that 50-metre area for Buffaloes. Is he taking it? They've claimed the mark. Good little hands, got his hands underneath it, did Shawnee Armat.
So Armat lowers the eyes again. Look at the lead. Cam Islet chops that one off. Sambono in a 2-on-1. Goes off the deck. Gains about 5 metres and will have a boundary throw in. So just the 1 point in it. Nightcliff's way.
You see Cammy Islet now sort of just pushed himself into that, almost that drop-off defender sort of position there, and just managed to get his hand up there to stop the Sambono forward entry.
So Williams doing the ruck work for Buffs, does well, flicks it over the top. It's a free kick for holding the man, surely. Brody Philo advantage? No. Lucky they didn't pay that one. That went straight down the throat of Shillabeer. That would have come straight back over his head. So free kick going the way of Scanlon. The big fit unit he is. Plays on. Long down the line. Atkinson chops that one off. Drops the mark. He's got time though. Shillabeer over there. Goes off the deck. Sorry, that was O'Neill. Back to O'Neill. Here's Islet. Wasn't clean, unlike Islet. Ball pops out. Stokes does well. Gets Boots a ball. Have a look at this. Oh, drops the mark. Sambono. Oh, it's off to the left. So a minor score. Well, Sambono time, just about.
Everybody gets excited when Sambono gets... Tash Medbury next door nearly jumped through the window.
You better sit down for a little bit.
Well, I can't. It's unbelievable. Game we have. Nice long kick to McLeod. He winds around and goes quickly. Stevenson should chop that one off, and he does. Good mark there from the young man. Comes out wide. to Aldridge, although well chopped off there. Atkinson gets the hands free, gets the handball away. Timmy Aldridge has done really well there. Releases Stokes. Here we go. Back inside 50. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. Miles will go back.
Tim Edwards was just great in that contest. He had 2 or 3 efforts to free the ball up, and Stokes, with his speed over the first 5, just found space and then got into Todd Miles, who's lining up from about 45 out on a slight angle.
Todd Miles, what a game he's had. If he kicks this, he'll put him back in front.
He's second for the game, resting forward.
On the approach, boot to ball. He likes it. He likes it a lot. The Buff boys get around him. Don't extend their lead by just the 1 goal. But unbelievable scenes, Walter.
Yeah, it's just been it's stepped up, you know. It was funny that Nightcliff had the intensity the first probably 8 or 9 minutes, and then all of a sudden Buffs have really picked up, and Todd Miles has been probably their most consistent player all over the ground, whether it's been in the ruck. He works back in defence, and now he's resting forward, and he's kicked 2 crucial goals, 1 in the third and 1 in the last, Tim.
Interesting to see now they're throwing big Darren Shillabeer into the middle there, just more as a midfielder. So it's sort of trying to get that strength and strong bodies around the contest as he comes into the ball here, and he'll get the ball and he'll let it rip in as far as he can into the Sambono in the Miles direction. Miles, can he get it? No, second grab. Third grab, he's got it. Put it on the boot, big man. He tries to, hasn't got the right amount of it, but it's still in the dangerous area for
Stokes flies, they paid the mark. It's gone the required 15 metres. And he'll go back and look to extend it to 2 goals, Walt.
And the most experienced players always step up in finals in these crucial minutes. You know, Shillabeer stepped up there in the middle. Cammy Islet's stepping back for defensive role, and now Jared Stokes just sat underneath and marked that ball really well.
Just had eyes for the ball the whole way through there. Everyone was trying to get the ball, but this guy's been a fantastic player all year for the Buffaloes, and tonight, running from the fence, running forward, has an opportunity here to give them a 12-point lead at the 19-minute mark of this last quarter in the qualifying final.
So Jared Stokes, kick underway. He pumps the fists. The boys get around him. They've extended the lead to 2 goals. 15-10, 100 to Nightcliff, 13-10, 88. Just about 20 minutes gone in the final quarter.
Statistically wise, you know, clearances, the centre clearances have been Darwin in this quarter 5-1, but all the rest all over the ground's been pretty much the only outstanding stat, or not the outstanding stat, but the stats that's gone Buffalo's ways. They've had 3 marks inside 50, and out of those 3 marks, they've kicked 2 goals.
So I think Nightcliff are out to 11-point lead early in this final quarter, and now it's Darwin that find themselves 2 goals in front. As we're about to get back underway, just over 20 minutes gone. Shillabeer is in the middle. Could have got one high. Nightcliff with the clearance. Deep inside 50. Burrawanga gets dragged down. Umpire says play on. Clark just bangs it out of there. But it's coming back. Advantage paid. Everyone just stops. Islet just nails it inside 50. But he's turned this one over. Straight down the throat of Jalen Clark. They paid a free kick there, the umpire, and paid advantage. Cam Islet stopped. Everyone stopped. And then just turn it over. Wilson drops the mark. Here's Stokes again. The clearing kick toward in the Shillabeer direction. Oh, look at Sambono with the tap. He might get it back here. Have a look at this. We're on Sambono. Watch. Kick underway. He's nailed it. Damn it. I can't believe it. Oh. I nearly had a heart attack. Sorry, everyone.
Do you want to put the table back in?
Yeah, no, sorry. The table nearly ended up through the window there. Sorry, guys. The production crew, I'm very sorry. Everyone just sitting to the side of us.
Mark Knudsen just almost did a backflip, seeing his screen jump out the window.
Came Riley to himself. Goes long. And that one's over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in about 70 metres around from the Darwin Buffaloes goal.
2 minutes into time on Tim, and Buffs are doing everything right at the moment.
It's where we might did that extra point you spoke about earlier, that 1 point lead, just to get the advantage. But you'd rather be in the Buffaloes' position than Nightcliff at the moment.
So Atkinson with the flick over the top. Ball comes inside 50. Here's my man. Look at that for a spin. Sambono just off to the left. So he's had the 2 last points. He should have 8 goals by now, the big boy.
He's had 9 shots on goal.
He's been absolutely extraordinary tonight. Riley with the long kick down the middle. Good mark there to Jalen Clark. The umpire says play on. Ball pops over the top. Can Nightcliff get a quick one? Barrawanga does well. Look at that. The young man puts his head over the pill. Wins it back. Another crunching tackle. Beautiful work here by the Buffs, although they've turned this one over. Bricknell deep inside 50. But straight to Timmy Eldridge. He's done well. I'll just take a bit of time off the clock. He's on one leg. Goes long down the line. Ball pops over. Roses with about a 3-on-1. Umpire's paid to throw that one. So Roses lucky there. So it looks like the Buffs to take on the Crocs next week, whilst Nightcliff will take on St Mary's. You don't want to face St Mary's in the finals. That's what they did to Tiwi today. They were very impressive.
Especially that first quarter, they dominated play for the majority of that, well, all of the first quarter, and then the last quarter they were very good as well.
So here's Bricknell. He's just going back over the mark. He needs to really get on his bike and get that ball deep inside 50. Does so now. Umpire says play on. Eldridge gets tackled. Could have been holding the ball. Umpire says not on my watch. Ball's going to come back in. Lockwood. It's a nice kick. Cam Island stands under it. Good spoil from O'Neill over the back.
O'Reilly.
And Philpott. Philpott with a clearing kick, but it's going to come back in. Here's Jules Lockwood again. Shillaby stands the mark. You think Darwin's done enough? Nightcliff need to put this one long and deep. They wind up. And there we go. Darwin Buffaloes have won this one. 15-12, 102 to Nightcliff. 13-10, 88. Whoa, what a game.
It was a very good game of football. The first quarter was all Nightcliff, second quarter was Buffaloes, and then it was an even third quarter, and even that quarter was pretty even stats-wise, and just some individual efforts by Toddy Miles, Cammy Eilert, Toddy Miles for Darwin, Cammy Eilert for Darwin, and I thought Kane Riley was really good for Nightcliff, and then the smaller brigade of Roses and Tim Eldridge, and the back six, Bradley Stokes led the way for the back six, and of course Sam Bono up forward for Darwin, kicking the 6 goals, Tim.
You know, they really spread that load today, didn't they? They just had those goal kickers. We knew Sam Bono and Shillaby were going to be the 2 main forwards, but that's that second group of players for them, that Roses you spoke about, just his one-hand skills, his cleanness has been very good the last month of footy. You know, Jason Clark popped up for 2 goals as well. It's that sort of, you know, to win finals footy, you need all 22 contributors on the ground. I think Buffaloes probably had that more of an even spread today, and you know, Nightcliff fought hard. They're still going to be hanging around. Don't worry about that. They've got an extra chance. That's why you get the double chance. That's why you play the whole season. They're getting that top 3, and they'll go away from this and they'll have another crack at it. But for me, the second half of the year, Buffaloes have been one of the best sides, and you know, they're exciting. They play fast footy. They play high-scoring footy, and yeah, they come into every game with nothing to lose. They just believe in each other, and you know, we spoke about the coaching staff, and you know, Matty Stokes has got them running a really good, exciting brand of footy, and it's going to be a great game next week.
We'll be back next week. Thanks for joining us today. It's been an absolute rip snorter. It was Darwin Buffaloes 15-12, 102 to Nightcliff 13-10, 88.